the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.
I'm gonna sing for all of you the new
that was it. That
the
was
song
it right
that is in our bathroom.
No, it's
when
good.
we're going to
I
the
think it
bathroom,
was-
there's elevator music that plays, and it goes.
It sounds. It's not instruments. It's actually just a guy.
On New
Year's Eve. Somebody just commented.
classic.
Is that Kev?
Yeah, that's James.
James.
classic.
James is
Classic
here.
tune.
Kev is here. What does James have to say? I can't see it.
Yeah, boys and girls.
Yeah, boys and girls, let's do it. Let's do the party.
We're including everybody.
Well,
no, we're not.
we have a couple things to address right up front.
Yes.
Starting
now.
And one of those being.
Wait. Let's start over.
Why?
Over. I wasn't ready.
Oh no, I'm starting when I first started speaking.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It's too late. You're host. No, I'm kidding. Whenever you want. Man.
Start over.
Take a breath.
Start over. I wasn't ready.
Okay. I'll make sure I definitely don't start before that.
Oh my God, James said
I'm in
people
the
want to
zone.
know what I'm watching with those noises.
Oh, it's a couple of wacky boys and a couple
Biofriendly
of crazy
Podcast.
gals. Yeah, everybody in the office. It is the Biofriendly Podcast.
Guys.
Well done. You picked up the echo.
Yeah, it sounded like a real echo.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, you ready now?
I'm in the zone.
Great.
Yeah, everything that happened before that won't be live.
No,
right?
definitely not.
Yeah, it won't be in the podcast.
We
know it won't be.
I wanted to address that. One, we have our Christmas decorations up. We have our holiday. We have festivity.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And if you're on Facebook Live, you get a good view of the Christmas tree. If you're on YouTube Live, you're hosed.
you get a good view of the of our new
Boys.
little photo.
That's what I wanted you to call out. Can you talk about the photo?
Yeah, so I on occasion can be a real
Stinker.
stinker,
Yeah.
a jerk-faced Bubby Nuggets.
You are a cotton-headed ninny
I
muggins.
can be a cotton-headed nitty mug. Well, no, because that's Christmas specifically me, and I'm very, very festive. So I am not a cotton-headed nitty muggins,
You're
and
right.
I don't
You're right.
appreciate you saying
I'm
it.
so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
But I can be a real jerk face.
okay. Okay.
So we have somebody we work with, the good Matt Kovacs.
Yes.
Over at Blaze PR.
Great friend.
Great friend.
Trusted ally.
Trusted ally.
Champion of humanity.
Yes,
yeah.
he's a champion of humanity.
Yes.
Yes, and a dog lover.
And dog lover and just a great guy.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a true American hero.
Yes.
And Matt sent me a text, and we'd been on a couple of group texts before, so I had his number in my phone. He had my number. Like we'd had communication, but I think that he didn't realize that or forgot that or something. So he sends a message to me that says, "Hey, this is Matt Kovacs from Blaze PR." And I'm like, well, I know this bad Matt Kovacs from Blaze PR because I have you in my phone because we've texted before.
Yeah. And we joked about it before because he had done it to me.
Because he does it to you all the time.
Yeah.
So
Matt.
I think, you know what? I'm gonna play this out. And so
Yeah.
I say, new phone, who dis?
Right. Which you got to.
Which is what you're supposed to do in that situation.
You have to.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he writes the same thing again. This is Matt Kovacs from Blaze PR. And so then I just put a question mark.
Yeah.
And then within
Seconds.
Jacob's phone rings.
And Matt is worried. He's concerned that I have given him the number of a maniac.
Yeah.
Or that Noel has been abducted and
Yes.
somebody has his phone. Those are the only two
Those
possible
were the only
options.
possible options.
It wasn't that Noel was being a stinker.
No.
And messing with him a little bit.
And so then Jacob and I took a photo to send him on the text chain, which was that photo.
Yeah.
So we took that photo to say, boy, and then I got on the phone with Matt on Jacob's phone, and
Yeah.
he put on speaker, I think.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And then I was like, hey, I was just messing with you, man. It's my phone. We're good. It's
Yeah.
I was just being a stinker.
Yeah.
And he was, I think I hurt his heart a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. But then that night I texted back and I was like, hey, just wanted you to know you're a great guy.
Yeah.
And I think you're pretty. I think I said, I want you to know that I think you're pretty great. Because I do think he's pretty great.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
And then he wrote back the next morning and said, that made me feel really good. Thank you. So I unstinkified myself in that moment.
Classic.
He then had this framed and sent to us so that we could see.
We can relive the moment.
We could relive the moment.
Of friendship.
So we decided we were going to put a nail in the wall and hang it up there so people could see it at every single show.
And there you go.
And there it is. That's us. Actually, there's another picture floating around where we then are holding that picture and then doing the same faces next to the picture. We sent that to him as well, so we're waiting for that one to come back.
Well, wait, that's going to be on mugs
Yes.
next Christmas, I think.
And the goal is to see how many deep we can go.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to call that out, of course, but we're doing something special today. We're doing something we've never done before. In the getting close to 3 years we've been doing this show.
Yeah.
Today we're doing a Biofriendly Podcast double whammy.
Double. What?
Yes.
What does that mean?
So here's
back.
back to back, Elise. You called it.
What?
This is what we're going to do. We have some guest episodes for Christmas. We have guest episodes for New
I
Year's.
cannot wait for guest episodes.
Oh, it was so fun, and I can't wait to air it. But we're running out of time.
It hasn't happened yet, remember?
Yeah,
We're in the
that's right.
past. It
You're
hasn't,
right.
yeah.
You're right. I went to the future for a brief moment.
Yeah.
Sorry. The
Yeah.
coffee's
One of them definitely
really strong.
One of them definitely and actually hasn't happened yet.
Yes, that's
And the
right.
other one definitely hasn't happened
Yeah,
yet.
you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. But we have several weeks of podcasts, and the holidays are upon us. And
They're
I was
upon
like,
us.
people's schedules are getting busier. There's more meetings. There's more calls. There's stuff to handle. And I was like, I don't know if I can rally the gang,
No.
this very efficient, well-oiled machine, together more than one time before we're out of here.
No.
I've got to do this double whammy style.
What does that mean?
It just means we're going to do 2 podcasts back to back.
Elise, is that on my schedule?
Yeah.
It's on your
Me
schedule.
and Jacob made time.
Yeah.
I took everything else off of
Everything's
it. Yeah, I took
can-
everything
so
off
I
your
can't get out of this.
Yeah,
No.
we had a meeting
Okay.
with Elon Musk.
Yeah.
We moved him.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
So you're telling me I have to do 2 shows in one day?
Yeah, you got to do 2 shows in one day.
I have to keep the sparkling wit
Yeah,
rocking for at least an hour?
yeah.
Okay.
Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts. Here we go.
Here we go. So let's dive into this first podcast. Now, the audience who listens to the show won't know.
It's me rubbing
They'll-
my hands together.
They'll hear us talking about it, but then this episode's going to end for them.
Oh.
And then, we've got
Was
that
that me?
buzz again. Where's that
that me?
buzz?
That was probably me.
No, it's the microphone.
It was me.
You got a
No,
cable.
it was me.
Was it really?
When I clapped my hands and I rubbed together and then I bumped this guy and it went and it made the noise. It was me. Sorry there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
For those of you
you
listening for our
corrected it.
ASMR qualities,
Yeah.
you may have been a little disappointed by that.
What we're going to talk about today
Let's talk about it.
are cow farts,
Methane.
but actually, more specifically, cow burps.
Oh boy.
Because,
Because they have 4 stomachs. So
Yes.
they got to release the pressure.
and so I think I probably knew this somewhere along the lines, but this subject comes up, and we've covered it in the past about meat production, and we've talked about, we had those Scottish cows that were, we've talked about
With the
cows.
kilts.
Yeah, with the kilts, where you lift up the kilt to milk them.
Yeah.
You remember?
I know the ones.
You remember.
Oh, don't call in
It's
during
just
the
background
show.
music. What do you mean?
Yeah.
That's our theme song.
It's the new theme
Go ahead,
song.
bring it in. We're going to make this doubly embarrassing, Veronica, and I'm going to answer the phone on live radio.
The good news is during the holiday season, people really are cool with whatever's going on.
Yeah, they don't. They're easy. They're good.
I do
what do we
see. I
have?
do see some comments.
Oh,
did
look
James
at
have another
that.
one, or Kev have another one?
Oh, I missed it. It was my wife.
Oh, I would love to hear from her.
Just tell her call back.
Should I call her back?
It's up to you. Do you think she'd be annoyed that we put her on the podcast?
100%. She'd be so pissed off.
I am not gonna aid and abet this crime. No.
What?
No.
So we're
no.
saying don't call
I'm
back?
saying don't call back, because I will not be responsible for Talia seeing me the next get together and being like, "Hey, Jacob, I heard you on the podcast egging on that terrible decision."
Yeah, and I don't want to
Not
meet
gonna do
her
it.
again.
No. I don't wanna-
Tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna see her this week.
All right, it's settled then.
Oh my God.
He's gonna do it.
All right, so you got to keep vamping while I just
Okay.
pretend like this isn't happening.
What was the new comment on YouTube? I see another comment there.
Now we know,
Now we know.
but I don't know.
Hey,
what it
honey,
was
how are
for.
you?
Oh,
I'm sorry, Jane.
Yeah,
Or Kevin. I'm sorry, Kevin.
it's okay.
Hold on, I gotta get these headphones off my ears because all I can hear is our show right now instead of you, which I should be paying attention to.
Right. But
That part.
We're doing.
You know,
we're
I gotta-
live on the podcast right now.
I gotta
as you
say,
call.
for the first
this is
time-
this is my actual. This is an actual interruption from a phone call from my wife in the middle of the podcast
this is a beautiful
because
moment.
I forgot to turn off my ringer.
It's the holiday spirit.
We've never
that
had it
amazing?
happen, actually.
This is family
So welcome
moment.
to the podcast, Talia.
Welcome.
Nobody can hear you.
Ladies
It's
and
just-
gentlemen, today's special guest is Talia Carroll, Noel's wife.
It just sounds like me talking with them in the
Beautiful,
background, wondering what the heck is going on.
talented.
Noel's couch must be very comfortable.
Jacob wants it
from
to be
Kevin.
known that this was not his idea.
Me too. Me too.
And Elise wants it to know. And they think that well, you'll hear later in the
Yeah,
future.
yeah.
This was definitely Veronica's idea.
Yeah, we'll put it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kev Brayman said, "Your
Are you sure?
couch must be comfortable."
Yes. Can you tell me at least why you called, or is that going to get me in trouble on live
Good.
television?
Good. Okay, if I get quiet enough, you can actually hear what she's saying, which I don't want to do that. to her.
100%.
Let's keep.
Yeah.
I'll do ASMR.
Yeah, knock it
Yeah.
out.
ASMR.
Okay. Well, we're doing an hour straight of podcast, and your Zoom's in 40 minutes?
Oh goodness.
No.
Oh no. Oh
Tonight.
no. Oh, tonight.
This is not urgent, but it felt so urgent when you called.
You know what that means?
I know. I feel like she's never called during the podcast.
No. She's.
I love you, honey.
It just shows how much he
Have
loves
a
her.
wonderful day.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was sweet.
Okay, I will. Okay, bye.
That's what the holidays are about, guys. It's about taking the time and talking to your loved ones.
Do you want to know what's remarkable?
Thanks for joining us today on the podcast, guys. That was great.
That was a great podcast.
That was number one.
Thank you
Podcast
for
number
coming
one.
by.
That's one for the books.
Yeah. What?
It was an absolute emergency.
It was?
Yeah, she needs my Zoom password.
Oh. Well, then you got to handle that.
I had to handle
So
it.
I'll vamp.
No. She doesn't need it till later on tonight. So she's actually incredibly upset that I answered the phone call and talked to her in the middle of the podcast.
Well,
Not
Talia,
incredibly upset. She laughed. She said, "Oh my God, what's wrong with you?"
Yeah,
It would have been good to have her live. Actually, if I'd had the speaker and have her,
I know.
that would have been better.
But you want to know what you just did?
What did I do?
Proved how much of a stinker you are.
I am a stinker.
You are a stinker, and he backed it up.
There it is.
Literally visual proof of his stinkiness.
Yes.
But then he'll make it up later and say, "I was just," and she'll be like, "You're cute. That's why I married you." You know. So
She's gonna appreciate the little things.
it's the little
little
things.
things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she'll say,
the
"Hey,"
details.
like Kev Brayman said, your couch must be very comfortable.
Yeah. Actually, I got one of those Tempur-Pedic mattresses on my couch.
Yeah.
Just for this very occasion.
Okay.
As these things tend to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
No, she to my wife's glorious credit, no matter how mad she's ever been at me, and she's been pretty mad at me. I don't know why, what I
Yeah.
could ever do to deserve such things.
No clue.
She has never made me sleep on the couch.
Oh.
Not once. Not once. She's made me wish I could sleep on the couch.
Just with the fury that
With
you
the
feel
fury-
from her
yeah,
back turned.
Yes. Yeah, but never.
Never made you do it.
No. She's a wonderful woman. Anyone who knows her knows that.
Yes,
And I'm
absolutely.
very lucky to have
And
her.
this all links to cow farts.
Does it? It does.
No, I actually
good to
don't.
know.
Yeah, no.
You guys
It has-
both have beautiful wives.
We do.
Oh,
they're amazing.
We're very fortunate.
And how you guys talk about them.
yes.
Yeah.
I had to
yes,
throw that in there.
Yes.
No.
Because we're on air. When we're off air, it's another
Then you hear
story.
the truth. Yeah.
No, but I wanted to we'll bring it back a little
Bring
bit,
it
which
back
is
to the show,
methane,
folks.
which is methane and cow farts, cow burps. But most of the time people think, oh, cow farts, and it's even been one of those issues of, been in the news of what's trying to happen. It might be your cable. Give it a quick shove underneath. Oh my gosh, we've broken it.
My God.
Don't move. You can't move for the rest of the podcast.
Okay.
Stay
Stay
like
still.
that with your arms like that.
Okay.
So it's actually cow burps and not farts that are actually responsible. People always think it's the farts, but actually that's only like a small percentage of the methane. It really comes out of their mouth. You can actually move.
Yeah.
I think it's just your cable, I think, is a little loose out of the bottom of the
So
microphone.
it's the burps.
It's the burps.
Okay.
Okay. Contrary to common belief, it's cow belching due to enteric fermentation. Enteric fermentation is the digestive process of converting sugars into simple molecules for absorption into the bloodstream, which produces methane as a byproduct. Now, you would ask yourself, wait a second, if cows are natural,
Yep.
then why would this even be a problem? But you know the answer already.
I'm going to ask this question. Why would this even be a problem, Jake?
Because there's way too many cows.
So how many cows do we have, Jakey?
Let's see if I've got that actual number of how many cows we have. Okay. I can break that down. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
1.47 billion cows alone are burping and farting out approximately 150 billion gallons of methane every day.
Oh my
150
gosh.
million gallons of methane
Every day. That's
single time.
1.47, so almost 1.5
Oh, and
billion cows alone.
And methane is a more potent greenhouse gas than
It
even
is
CO2.
It is. And this is what's fascinating. And a lot of times when you hear an environmental message, you assume that there's a bias to it, right? You always hear well, if we just reduced the amount of meat we'd be eating, then we'd probably make a huge impact. And you think, that's just the vegetarians, the vegan movement. You're dismissive of it. And it's like, we just need to get cars off the road or whatever, right? But actually, it's true. It's true. It's one of the biggest causes to the problems we have is the amount of cows.
Yeah.
That is a huge issue.
How much?
Well, let me tell you. 95% of the greenhouse gas produced by cows is from burping. Mm-hmm. Cows burp approximately every 90 seconds.
I mean,
right. 1.41 trillion methane-rich cow burps are being released into the environment every day. Mm-hmm. Methane is thought to be 25 to 100 times more destructive to the environment than carbon dioxide.
how many percentage?
25 to 100 times.
Okay.
This is a large percentage.
Sure.
Over 23.7 billion methane-rich cow pies, weighing a staggering total of 43.4 million tons, are deposited around the world every day. So this is it's not just cows, it's animal agriculture. It's agriculture in general.
Right.
It's just that we are producing an enormous amount of food.
Well, beef right, specifically, right?
Yeah,
like
beef.
Yeah.
The demand of providing beef for the growing hunger of meat is only going up. And they're burping their way into the air, and it's not good.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
Did that answer your question?
Well, do you think that we could feed them different foods?
Yes.
Okay. What could those be, Jacob?
We could. Yeah. We could absolutely feed them
It's
different
as
foods.
if we rehearsed before this.
Oh,
but
we
you know
didn't.
what? We actually didn't. This is the first I heard about this.
So,
So, Jacob, do you have that answer?
yes, I do. I have it up. Okay, check this out. So the title of this article is Surf and Turf, How Seaweed Helps Cows Become Better Climate Citizens.
That would make sense.
Right?
Okay.
Getting calories out of grass is not easy. That's why cows and other ruminants.
And by the way, it's often with the cows we're talking, the problem cows.
Yeah,
It's not grass.
there's problem
No,
cows. They're bad cows.
And I can't blame the cows.
No,
right,
I
guess.
these are problem.
I'm going to call them
cows.
problem cows.
I like the idea that there's a bunch of cows with leather
They got
jackets.
nose rings.
Yeah, they got nose rings and mohawks, and they're spraying anarchy on barn doors. And
they
they're
are
like,
problem cows.
we don't have to do nothing, mate. We're the bad cows. Why are they bad?
Oi. So don't you forget about this gang here, mate. We're going to take over the whole town.
Don't you worry,
Wait,
mate.
that'll be a funny kid's show or something.
The bad cows.
The punk rock bad cows. I love it. Oi.
Problem cows.
I don't know. By the way, to our British audience, we're not trying to say that all Cockney-speaking people are in a gang, but I think we've seen a lot of Guy Ritchie movies. I think that's what we're trying to say.
I think even our friends in Great Britain
They get it.
know that every single person who has a Cockney accent's in a gang.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's
that just goes without saying.
I think we all know this. This is common knowledge.
But
This
you were about to say why they're bad. Why there are some bad cows because of the eating,
no,
right?
the problem cows are the ones that you've got locked shoulder to shoulder in tiny pens with absolutely nowhere to go and nowhere to graze, and that are filled up with hormones and that are like punished to live basically.
Yeah.
And that is unfortunately most of the cows that you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's not their fault.
No, they're problem cows.
There's
because
rebellious cows in there, but it's not
Right.
their fault.
Right, exactly.
Right.
The problem from the cows is more that just that we're not treating them properly. We're not
right.
handling, and that's because
Yeah.
we need so many that we can't do it.
Yeah.
We can't actually grow enough cows to deal with the amount of meat that we eat.
Yeah.
So that's so really it's the problem people. But the problem cows are the ones who are in that situation because those cows are being fed mostly like corn.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
being fed like that's we subsidize a ton of extra corn in this
Right,
country,
right.
So that we can
Feed it to cows.
feed
Agriculture,
yeah,
goats,
for agriculture,
sheep,
yeah, exactly.
all the animals.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah,
So during the process of trying to capture methane, because this is a thing that they're trying to solve, right? They're trying to figure out how do we stop it. Obviously, the growing demand of food is, and we encourage people. Again, the Biofriendly Podcast is incredibly understanding of what people enjoy to have for dinner, their favorite, burgers and steaks. But it's not a bad idea for your health alone to not have red meat, beef every single day. That's like that's just a known medical fact. And so, and then the other meats. And that's why the whole concept of that you've heard us talk about before, a meatless Monday You just have a day of the week where you decided, I'm not going to have chicken. I'm not going to have steak. I'm not going to have turkey. I'm not going to have any meat whatsoever. That's a very small step that you could do that would make a difference, right?
Yeah, sure, yeah, absolutely.
It'd be huge.
Yeah. Yes.
100%.
Yeah. I think that it's a lot more complicated than we let on.
Yeah.
Right? Because so in order for like the vegan diet, right? Mm-hmm. The vegan diet is, I mean, conceivably would be better for the environment because you're not doing that. Except you then have the problem of in order to have as many people eat vegan as are now eating cows, what you'd have to do is you'd have to have more farms, and you couldn't grow enough vegetables without using modern farming technology, which means GMO, which means which means Monsanto, which means all. So there's sort of an issue there as well. I think that the way we think about food is still it needs a little bit of adjustment. I think that some of these ideas where people have like they in their backyards have like these kind of like mini farms.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way to try to supplement at least a little bit of what you're eating. If you really wanted to be crazy green, that's the way to do it.
Grow some stuff.
Yeah, grow some stuff. Get some, get a little fish pond back there to help it out, and you sort of have them work. That would probably be the way to. And if we all sort of took more responsibility for our own food a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's a complicated question. I mean, it really is because once you get rid of the cows and you replace them with the vegetables, now you're tearing up everything that lives in that place. Where you want to now grow your tofu. You'll grow your soy, right, to make your tofu. So like it is kind of a yin and yang sort of thing that has to be balanced.
This is that conversation that we run into over and over again, which is the demand and the desire for somebody to say, let's just do away with a system completely is not the answer. Mm-hmm. Like, that is something we come into time and time again about technology, about food systems, about, recycling and environmentalism. It's like, well, there are things in place, and we can't, if you just kill one of them immediately, then you're going to have a lot of other problems too because of the alternative.
Right.
So it's being mindful.
It is a little bit like if we could work our way back to a more wildlife kind of situation, right? Where you've got all sorts of different plants and vegetables and fruits growing kind of all over the place. Yeah. Right?
Then it would change everything.
Yes. And then you can let wild animals kind of run through there. And then instead of, like, we focus on cows because cows are easy to farm. Yeah. Because you can herd them so easily. Yeah. Because they don't really complain too much.
Oh, this way into the barn with the big sharp objects?
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's why that's not the best meat. People think it's the best meat because
it's just so common.
It's what we're given. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. You'd have much more joy eating elk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But then someone says, eat an elk. Oh my God, that's awful. But if we were in like they were in the old, like in Native American days where you just went out and you hunted whatever you found. If it was a deer, it was an elk, it was moose, whatever, right?
Then you'd be excited because you got elk that month and you'd be like, oh, and
man. You would use every bit of it. Yeah. Right? To make your food. And then the what you gathered would have come from the ground as well. And then that's something where you're going to produce a lot. You're going to produce a lot more food naturally without having to deal with so many. Anyways, this is a dream utopia that probably isn't possible with 7 billion people on Earth.
Right. But I want you to know that while they're trying, so like we encourage and we talk about, now there's a few comments that have come in while we've been talking. Is there anything really killer and amazing, or is it just, nonsense from Kevin? I'm just kidding, Kevin. I love you.
Stump Jake Phil, nice try, Noel.
Huh?
Stump Jake Phil, nice try, Noel.
Yeah, that's right. Because you've got it today.
Yeah, I've got.
Yeah, because past times I've asked the questions and you've been like, I don't know. Yes. But today I came with the ready. You are on it. You've got the answers.
I can't take credit.
No.
Veronica deserves it.
Veronica, you made him prepared.
Well,
you brought him prepared.
Veronica brings so much awesome help and support, and so she makes sure that I come into these things with all the info at my fingertips.
At his fingertips.
So I got
ready to go.
I got to give it up to our new team member and how much she's kicking butt. Wow, so
that's awesome.
Couldn't do it without her.
Any other good questions on either of these?
No, just Kevin standing in my corner. Right. But I was going to say, we always say scientists and people of bright bright minds are trying to come up with solutions. And these are some hilarious solutions, I think. Scientists have developed multiple approaches for capturing bovine emissions, which is a great word altogether, bovine emissions. From masks fitted for cow noses that restrict the amount of methane animals' burps release into the atmosphere to ingenious but misguided plastic backpacks designed to trap cow farts.
Okay.
Wait. Let me just revel in the fact that there's going to be cows with fart backpacks.
Fart backpack,
Wait, people
by
are
the
gonna
way.
steal them and like.
Fart Backpack are the only band that I've ever seen do an entire concert underwater.
Yeah, it's amazing. And nobody gives Fart Backpack enough credit, but they really, that was their last show because they drowned.
Yeah, they didn't make it.
But they really, really put on a good show.
They didn't make it, but until then, they were great. And that show was awesome, right? I think they just needed to realize we can't breathe down here.
We can't breathe down here. But I know, and here's the thing. The article even said it's an ingenious, but misguided, because most of the methane produced by cows is released through belching. Only 5% comes out the other end. So we don't really need to be strapping fart backpacks on the cows. But I like the image of a bunch of cows. We had the troublemaking cows, and now we have a bunch of cows.
Problem cows.
Problem cows. Mm-hmm. And now we have a bunch of cows with backpacks. And it's like, what do you got in your backpack? You're not going to want to open it up. I promise you. Please, no. Oh, hand it over.
But even the masks.
Oh, no.
Even the masks.
Yeah.
It's like, do we all have to wear masks?
Yeah,
even the
yeah,
cows? Is
yeah,
that how
exactly.
it's come to?
Yeah,
This is the world we live in?
So I wasn't saying they were great ideas. I just said people are
They're
trying.
hilarious.
People are trying, right? Right.
No, I think I like the idea of feeding the cows better nutrients, right?
Yes,
Giving them, like looking for these seaweed options that are better. That's good. If you can, if we could let more of them be free range.
Yeah.
And let them just live and go out there and have their life, it would be better.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But that is going to require us to change our diet a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I don't think I can.
Yeah.
Well, how much?
I'll reduce. I don't even
reduce.
eat meat that
How
much.
much red meat do you eat in a week?
Like, I eat more ground turkey.
Okay, how much ground turkey do you eat in a week?
Like twice, probably.
Twice in a week, and then probably like what, like a burger and a couple of what?
Yeah, I eat more chicken.
More
like
chicken?
Chick-fil-A, their slogan.
Chick-fil-A is good. So like chicken wise, do you do probably once, twice a week on that?
Majority, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, all the time, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Fried chicken, grilled chicken.
So chicken's your thing.
all the
Chicken's your thing, right?
Yeah.
So chicken is a problem too. You'd love.
Yeah.
I know you don't want to hear that, but chicken's an issue as well
It is.
for a similar reason. But hey, how's it going?
Hey, I love this.
Welcome.
Oh my God.
Oh,
We got gifts, guys. We got gifts.
Thank you. Have a
so
good
much.
one. Yeah.
Happy holidays.
All right.
Oh my God.
I love it.
So that was that. We just got a UPS delivery with a bunch of gifts. That's
love it.
so
I
lovely.
thought that was the FedEx one.
No,
No, these are
UPS.
presents.
Oh, prezzies.
Yeah.
So all right. So if you're having let's say if you're averaging like 4 chicken meals a week.
Yeah.
If you cut that back to 3 chicken meals a week, is that possible? To like
Mm-hmm.
cut out one.
So you just changed the world. You just single-handedly changed the world.
Got rid of,
One. That's the thing.
Look,
yeah. I don't
That's-
even think, because it's so hard for me to plan out what I want to eat. So
Right.
by the time I get home, I'm not going to the store. I'm not
Yeah.
going to go home to cook. So I'm like,
right.
I'll just go home hungry.
And that's part of it, right? That's part of the environmental sort of mindset is like, okay, so I'm having trouble doing this because I'm not getting the grocery shopping done in time. So again, I got to just make a little
just staying
adjustment. Well, no, like just an adjustment of when you do your groceries. And
I
make
am
that little
saving
shift.
the world. I'm staying home. I'm
Yeah.
eating less chicken.
That's right.
I'm eating
That's
less
right.
beef.
That's the thing is we've got to make it more approachable for people. Is that we're never going to win this whole thing if it's always about it's all or nothing. It's you got to do what you can do. You know.
I would try to eat one vegan meal a week. I'll
That's
start
great.
off. I'm not vegan. I would say vegetarian.
Vegetarian. I think that's
fine.
a step in the right direction.
Yeah,
And
variety is a good thing. If you
Yeah.
just add more variety, then that's good.
Yeah.
Just
Because it's like
eat
you're
more
so
different
used to
things.
eating like these things so often. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not going to venture out.
We're creatures of habit.
Yeah.
Right? We get into a habit. So I know that Chick-fil-A's on the way home on this day at this time, and that's always a good line
Totally.
on that day. So I'm just going to go to Chick-fil-A at this time,
Right.
and then it becomes the habit, right?
Yeah.
And then that's it. So you're going to do that now every Thursday, whatever, and that's done.
Yeah.
That's just now sealed in. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So, which I get, but if we find ways to change up the habit, it's good. It's good for us, good for our bodies, good for the environment.
It is. And the last piece before we finish this, because we have to move on to the next one. I was going to tell you the whole subject, which is seaweed, is being introduced into the cattle feed, and it's helping.
Great.
So this is a solution that's not a fart backpack that actually could make a huge difference.
I do feel bad about Fart Backpack, though. They were a great band.
I feel so bad.
And it was odd that their last album was called R.I.P. Like, it wasn't.
It's like they knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they opened one too many fart backpacks, apparently.
They sure did.
But so basically, there's this team of scientists. They have a supplement made from the red seaweed Asparagopsis taxiformis, which is
The old Asparagopsis taxiformis.
trick. It's from Australia, of course. When fed to cows at a daily dose of just 100 grams. So,
That's it.
yeah, that's all. The feed reduces their enteric methane gas fermented in the intestines emissions by 80%.
Boom.
Boom. Seaweed.
Solved it.
Solved it.
Literally.
Done.
80%. That solved it.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the good news. This whole thing has been like I know this sounds bad. I want my meat, But the good news is the seaweed looks like it might be a great way to stop this or slow it tremendously.
Yeah.
Okay. But on the way out of this subject, there are things that you could do if you want to help.
Okay.
Buy less. We talked about that. Choose wisely.
Choose wisely.
Buy higher welfare when you can. It's better for animals, you, and the planet. So that means spring for the meat or the poultry or whatever that is treated well.
You gotta buy the expensive meat. That's the thing. And that's actually a natural way to keep you from doing it too much because it's hard to buy the expensive meat.
Exactly.
It's expensive.
The cheap meat that's definitely not being taken care of. So
yeah, again, we talked about, and I think in a past podcast, but those broken chicken wings,
they turned up.
That's because they weren't they weren't in a great situation. They were stuck in a cage.
Yeah, exactly.
So definitely, the expensive meat is the way to go if you can.
Yeah. And then ask questions. So if you're not sure where the meat at a restaurant or supermarket comes from, you can ask. It doesn't mean you're annoying. You can ask the question, just be like, hey, where do you guys get your meat from? What farms? Where does this come from? That's a fair question.
Right.
It doesn't make you a Karen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can just ask the question.
I'll just be,
I mean, it
sometimes
is
you gotta
going.
be.
I mean, you're at the end of the day, you're paying for it.
You're paying
and it's
for
going
it.
into your body.
Yes, there's no harm in asking the question. If you know the restaurant or the place that you eat enough, they might advertise where they get their meat from.
Look, I don't know the first thing about the world, but I can't believe that if you try to be kind in the way that you phrase a question and you try to be thoughtful with the person you're talking to, that's a Karen.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know.
Well, I think we've gotten a little hypersensitive to any kind of
Everything.
Yeah, it's like there's a little hypersensitivity to just wanting to know information. It's like, oh, you're being painted as this difficult person, and it's like, well, am I difficult if I'm the one getting the food and I'm paying for it? Yeah, it's like, but it's just how you do it.
Yeah,
right?
and what
It's
if you think the
polite.
manager's hot?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what if you have other reasons to want to talk to the manager?
Yeah, maybe you're just flirting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
you're not trying to.
people they're thinking that, well, you keep asking for the manager, so you're Karen. It's like, no. I kind of think he's cute.
I'm in love with him
I have feelings of love,
for this restaurant
and
manager.
I would like to please take this
Please
manager out
speak
on
to
a
the
lovely
manager.
dinner.
Yes.
Where we can have very expensive fish.
Yes, humanely
Humanely
chosen.
treated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I love it. And then the last thing is be vocal, spread the word about taking care of animals. Together, we can make sure that the animals that are being farmed are being treated right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just I think that the biggest thing in all of this is just a little bit of awareness.
Yeah.
Just knowing
I agree.
that this is a thing.
Yeah.
And that anything you can do to help helps.
Yeah.
So just having a little bit of awareness about it and just trying a little bit.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
literally, one less chicken a week as an example.
Yeah.
One less chicken meal a week. That's it.
Yeah.
Just do that. It makes a difference.
It makes a
right?
huge difference.
Well, if you're having 6 burgers a week, like go for 5. See if you can cut it back one.
Yeah,
Wow,
right.
that's a lot
Right.
of burgers.
And talk to it's a lot
People,
of burgers.
a lot of people do.
Yeah.
You would not be. You would be amazed. It's kind of common. Again, it goes back to the habit thing.
Yeah.
Where you know that I know I can get a hamburger. I know that I enjoy hamburgers. I can get them on any corner. They're not terribly expensive, and
Yeah.
there's 17 different types of hamburgers that I can eat from all these different restaurants.
Absolutely.
So they all feel like a different meal.
Yeah.
And so people just have a bunch of hamburgers.
Yeah.
That's a very American thing.
Yeah.
Much more common than I think we realize.
Yeah, I agree.
And
So-
and by the way, I'm not even going to punish people for that because
No.
I get it. I honestly do. I get that's
Yeah.
that's how the world has worked itself around your life.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, I think it's a fair thing to ask. So that was cow farts, cow burps, cow stuff, methane, guys. We did it. We already knocked
Seaweed.
out number 1.
We should get into the seaweed business.
We should get into the seaweed business. Okay, I know a guy. I got a seaweed guy.
you got
I know a guy. I got a seaweed guy.
You got a seaweed guy?
Oh, I got a
Because
seaweed
that's
guy.
going to take off.
Yeah, it's great. He's great. He's fishy, but I like him.
I don't.
Hey-o.
I don't like seaweed. That's one of the reasons I struggle with some sushis.
I gotta be honest with you. I get poke bowls sometimes, and they put a big glob of seaweed on top, and I usually say, "Hey, could you go super light on that because it does get a little overwhelming for me."
Yeah.
But I don't mind it when it's wrapped around the
Yeah.
sushi.
Okay,
I like
when-
that.
when it's the container
When
wrap,
it's
it's okay.
container wrapped, it's fine. But
Yeah.
but if you overdo the sushi, I mean the seaweed, I also am like, dial it back.
Yeah.
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 I'm with you on
I have
that.
a hard time with it. I don't know.
So somebody needs to find that sushi that we talked about ages ago, which was on the bottom of the sea floor that might taste like chocolate.
Oh, the chocolate sushi.
Chocolate. I mean chocolate seaweed. Sorry, I said
That's the
sushi.
one.
Yeah.
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 Chocolate sushi. I mean, if you had chocolate seaweed, you'd make chocolate sushi.
Chocolate Sushi was the band supposed to open for Fart Backpack.
That's right. But then they had a complaint. They said, we want scuba tanks.
Yeah, and Fart Backpack was like, no.
Why would you need scuba tanks? And they said, no, we'll do it. Just get a scuba. Well, aren't you getting scuba tanks?
Yeah.
They're like, no, we're not getting scuba tanks.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to be down there very long. Like, oh no, we'll stay down there because they're trapping us in a box.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, are you sure this is a good idea?
This seems like a bad idea, guys.
And Fart Backpack said, this is a great idea.
It's a great idea. It's
Yeah.
great for our CD release, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
And Chocolate Sushi is still performing to this day.
Chocolate Sushi have had a great career since then. Yeah. Fart Backpack.
Well,
may they rest in peace.
in memoriam. Well, that's it for this one, guys. So we have been your beacon of light in a gloomy environment.
Carefully avoiding neonicotinoids.
We are the Meryl Streep. No, we are the Siegfried and Roy and Meryl Streep of podcasts.
This show is a joke.
Never believe.
Step 1, chill out.
Spilling the teeth since 2019.
Technically perfect.
Exterminating the truth. News.
News?
Exterminating the news. I'll never get
What's
that one
mine? Don't I have a silly one too? Don't I?
Our pheromone.
Pheromones.
Our pheromones.
Are awesome.
Our pheromones are awesome.
I like that it's just our pheromones.
Our
That's it.
pheromones.
And that's a big old
Cheerio.
Bye.
It's the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.